Hey guys, Al here, Vitalize Seed. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday evening. Wanted to do a video on inoculants. So what are they? What types are they? How does it differ? What is an inoculant versus a seed coating? And so on, or at least high level, we'll talk about some of those things today. So first off, I wanted to highlight some different articles. These are all like peer-reviewed Science Direct type articles. But basically, this talks about microbial inoculants have been used as a biofertilizer for improved nutrient uptake in plant development. Again, this is talking primarily about legume inoculation, and I'll show you and touch on that later. But that's like with our seed armor. We use a humics blend with rhizobium strains of bacteria to make sure that you have that bacteria not only in the soil but also right around that legume root to increase the rate at which those legumes create that symbiotic relationship. We include that for free with all of our Nitro Boost and Carbon Load plantings. It's inside the bag, and you just simply put it on the seed and do a light dusting and coating, and that's going to ensure, I like to say it's like an insurance policy. It's going to make sure you have that good bacteria in the soil, and then of course we do use a humics blend as well to increase with retention, germination, etc. So that's really what a microbial inoculant is. Now there are some additional products that we can talk about too as far as microbial inoculants go, and that's when you get into things like fungal inoculants. They've been shown to reduce stresses in the plant, reduce faster symbiotic relationships with things like mycorrhizal fungi. And we also offer a product there called Bitennial Biologic called Spectrum Plus Myco. So it has a bunch of additional natural biology that you put on the seed. It's going to help from everything from phosphorus solubilization in the soil profile, as well as additional nutrient uptake, as well as mycorrhizal fungi inoculation right on that seed, so that when it does germinate, you get this response that this article is talking about. So that's really what a microbial inoculant is. Sometimes people just call it a legume inoculant or something, but it's all generally the same thing. If it's just that rhizobium type of strains of bacteria that are going to help that legume, in that case, to quickly get a establishment in the soil with the right bacteria to make sure that it fixes nitrogen. The difference between our product and some others out there, not that others are bad, but we have a very diverse mix. And one of the issues that I had run into is most legume inoculants are specific to beans or to peas or to hemp or to vetch, etc. We have a broad spectrum, so it covers all of the legumes in our mix. And then again, we added our own twist with wanting to just help a little bit more, add a little bit more value, and we have add a humics base as alongside that to, again, help with seed germination and nutrient retention on that seed, and that comes inside the bag. So I won't spend a whole lot of time on this, but this is very similar to what I just mentioned. So this is another article. As you can see, it says the abstract. So I believe this was also from Science Direct, and this was talking about obscure mycorrhizal fungi. So AMF is normally referred, because if you're like me, you're going to have trouble pronouncing it. But mycorrhizal fungi, and what this is talking about is that seed quality is obviously an important aspect, but then putting those things like that on there have been used to show reduction in stress, leading to plant growth enhancement, improved plant resilience, and it goes on to explain some of the areas that they tested: soybeans, canola, sunflowers, tomatoes, etc. So guys, another product that we have and I want to talk about is our seed feed. This article goes really into depth about they were actually applying similar to our seed feed, right? Soluble nutrients onto the seed. I also coating them with like amino acids and things. At the very bottom, you can see that it showed yielding 50% higher. I believe it was the root mass. It cuts off there for me on the bottom. But a greater root length, mass, etc. When using these coatings. And we saw similar things that I'll highlight that in the next piece of this video. But what our seed feed product is you're just trying to give those seeds off to a good start. Especially in no-till systems, you're not able to work your fertilizer, specifically the immobile nutrients, down into that root depth. So you're just going to be broadcasting them on top, or just hoping that biology is going to take them up, which absolutely can happen, and we have seen that happen, and we have tissue testing to prove that can happen. But some people aren't that patient. They want to see a little bit faster jump. So what you can do, if you don't want to break out the tiller, you want to stick to the no-till system, but you want to give that seed a little bit of a jump start, you can use a product like our seed feed. You simply coat that onto the seed. So you can have the seed armor and the seed feed both coating onto the seed. I put them right in my no-till box. I mix it all up with my hand as I go, and that way I have a little bit of that soluble nutrients, doesn't take a lot, right on the seed. As that seed gets dropped into the furrow, you pack that down in with the no-till. If you're broadcasting, it's the same idea. It's going to fall down into the thatch. It has that little bit of nutrients right on the seed or right around the seed. As that nutrients become soluble with rainfall and that seed starts to germinate, now you have that little bit of fertility right there on that seed, giving it a good start. So not only are you getting the seed armor with the seed, it's going to make sure you have the right biology there, then you're going to make sure that you have the right fertility there to get that root seedling off to the best start. And that makes a lot of sense because you get a lot out of a little bit, a lot of result out of a little bit of product. And people might say, well, how could that be? I might have to put 100 pounds down per acre of fertilizer. But the idea is because we're putting it right where it needs to be on the seed so that you're getting that immediate burst, getting a really quick and fast root establishment in the soil profile, which is going to then allow that seed to get off to a good start, assuming you get timely rains. And then it's going to be able to start using biology to really expand its root mass because it got off to such a really good, strong start. So that's kind of the idea behind it, and I'll show you some of those results that we've had, or at least highlight the video in which we did that so you can look up if you're interested in more about seed feed. All right, guys, so here's the data. It's hard to believe. It's been 7 months since I put that video out, but this is seed feed. And what we were able to do in this video is highlight some of our controls and then also the areas in which we use seed feed and what were the results. And what we did is we took soil as well as above ground tissue so that we could see not only is the, what was the soil before, what was it after, number one, and then what was the soil after there's been plants growing all year, right, or all summer, and then what was the biomass, right? So you don't want to just have a biomass sample there because if you didn't compare what it was before and what it was after in the soil, you would just say like, oh, well, it took everything out of the soil and there's nothing left. And what we were able to show is the total difference was there's actually 20% increase in overall difference where the seed feed was used. So it was pretty impressive. There was a lot more nutrients in where those products were used. Not that we had a terrible result, honestly, in just the controls. It was still pretty impressive, the amount of both biomass above and below ground. But as far as total nutrient availability, it was pretty impressive to see what the seed feed was able to do in a very small controlled setting. And that's one of the things that we've seen observationally, but we always want to continue to test and bring that data to you. So if you're interested in that, you can watch that video. It's on our YouTube channel, Seed Feed. The data is the name of that video. And again, it's on our YouTube. You should be able to find it. So in summary, I'll just hit these last three products again. So we have the Taneo Spectrum plus Myco. So for those of you who are interested in increasing mycorrhizal fungi connection, that's going to help with residue breakdown on your fields. It's going to help with phosphorus solubility. If you've done a lot of tillage over the years and you really want to try to reduce tillage and you want to help to increase that, I would highly recommend this product. You put it right on the seed. You can also spray it, but I really like it as a seed coating. You put it right on that seed, plant that seed, and I use it probably once every other year or something like that. But it's a really, really good product. It's $45, covers at least an acre. You could probably spread that out even a little bit as a seed coating to cover a little bit more. But that is the Spectrum Plus Myco. This is our seed armor, that little silver packet. Again, for all of our customers who are buying the Nitro Boost or the Carbon Load, that comes in the bag. So you do not have to buy it. That is our Rhizobium and Humex. That's going to help with your insurance policy of making sure that you have the right bacteria in the soil profile. It's broad spectrum, so it's going to cover every legume in the mix. It also has a humic base to it, which is going to help with germination, nutrient retention, etc. And that is in our product. If you're making your own mixes or buying somebody else's mixes, but you do want to make sure that you have the right inoculant, contact us. We do sell it. We sell it in half acre and 1 acre packets, and we do sell it to people all the time that way. So we're happy to help you there. If you're not a Vitalize seed customer, but you do want to buy those nutrients, you're more than welcome to do that. And similarly, this is our seed feed. So this is actually our new label. Jared did a great job on that. But again, so this is the fertility piece of it. We're going to be putting that right on the seed. It's going to be putting that fertility right there next to the seed, allowing that seed to get off to the best start it possibly can. And that has a whole bunch of nutrients in it, as well as a humic base. It's going to help with nutrient retention, seed germination, soil quality, water retention in the soil, etc. So it does a whole lot with a little bit of powder. And again, No magic bullets. You got to follow good soil health principles. But hopefully you guys found this interesting. And please, if you like it, share, subscribe, and check us out at vitalizeseed.com.